2016. I'm headed out to scout some public ground by my house. I walked probably almost 2 miles of it this spring, and there's some good doe sign in there. I haven't really found much buck sign. So today my plan and my goal is to head out there. There is a nice island in the middle of this big marsh. It's not really a cattail marsh, it's just super thick. It's wet in the spring for sure. It was wet last fall when I walked through parts of it. It's just, I mean, it's so nasty and thick through there that you can't even take a direct route. So hopefully there's no trails that I didn't know of leading into there, because if there isn't, then it should be a pretty prime spot for some deer. It sits up in the middle of this marsh. It's pretty high. It's got a couple nice points coming off of it, so I'm looking forward to getting out there and scouting that. So that's kind of my main objective today. And to the south side of this big island, there's two little islands too, which might be promising for some buck cover. So I'm hopeful to see some old scrapes and rubs in there. Maybe find a community scrape on this big island in the middle of this marsh. I mean, I have a feeling that once pressure starts up, that's where these deer go. I'm hopeful it's all oaks. So I'll check in throughout my trip, and I'm going to also take some videos of any type of sign that I find in there. Got my GPS, so I'll mark it with my GPS, and we'll go from there. It's probably 2 miles to 2.5 miles round trip. So once I get in there, we'll kind of see how much time I have left. Let's make a mental note of how much time it takes to get out, and hopefully I can get on some good sign in there. This place has been open about 10 years, this public land, and it's, gosh, I know when it opened up there was some big deer shot in there. There's some private land surrounding it, so this island's not too far from the private. It's freaking hot out. It's 80, car says 88 degrees right now, so that's not the best, but be a good hike, work up a little sweat, got some water, get after it. It's about 4:45. Which means I have just about 3 hours. Just started my trek. There's a nice creek up here. I need to see if I can walk it one of these days, see how deep it is. It might be a good access route for some other spots in here. I'll show you quick. I'm coming up to it right now. It's a nice island out there too. I'd love to get out there in the spring. It's probably too wet now. Might be a nice sneaky way up in there. Hard to say though, I don't know how soft it is. There's gravel here, but it's because it's a crossing, I think. It was pretty good. That island back in there was full of oaks, big mature trees. Intersecting trail here and here. It's kind of open on this ridge. Again, kind of tough to get to. Acorns in here for sure. A lot of big old mature trees. It's not very thick in this spot anyway, but it's hard to get to. Heavy trails back in there. Heavy Mark 009. Awesome pinch point right here. Good trail. Actually leads off to the little islands. Right there is nice. There's another track right there. Trail from Mark 010 going towards the smallest island. Pretty heavy trail. There's a couple trees in here that you could get in. I see one in particular too. Right there. One of those two. Maybe that one. Let's just beat down trail right here. Mark 010. Crossing. Good intersection. Several trails actually. 3 come together right here, 3 or 4. Right in the spot. I'm gonna sit in there for the rut for sure. I gotta do a little more investigating because I also found a bunch of chest-high rubs in there. First old buck sign I've seen in here. I'm at that smallest point or island right now. There's a good trail here that veers off to the left. There's a trail that veers off to the right. There's another trail that runs across both of them. It's the first rub I've seen on a tree. It looks like it could be from last year, maybe 2 years old. But either way, I'm heading in the right direction. I'm going to follow this trail right here because that's where I think it's going. 0012. Nice chest high rub. It's leading branch toward me, so it looks higher than it is. But it is high. It's the best buck sign I've seen in here so far. It is from last fall for sure. So that's promising. I'm going to follow this trail a little bit. Just got to find out where they lead to. I mean, I have an idea, but I'm not 100% sure. So once I get this all mapped out, my GPS track mapped out, and all my marks mapped out, I'll be able to figure it out pretty quick and give me some other ideas of where to scout, at least in the spring, or go and look for some hot sign. I mean, that's what I'm going to have to do this year. I'm going to go and check these field edges, you know, middle of October, and as soon as I see those field edge rubs open up, I'm going to wait for a cold front, and I'm going to go sit back in that island off one of the little islands. 1-4, several old field edge rubs. There's one here, that's high. There's another one out here on the edge of the field. Actually several. It's like several years worth of the same deer. There's one here. There's one there. There's one there. That one's almost chest high. One back there is chest high. If he's still alive, he's nice. It looks like they lead right to where the other rub in there was. So I'm going to make a mental note. Marked it. I think that's my best bet. I could sit the field edge a few times, try and kill a doe in there, but I may not have doe permit available. But I'm going to hit it hard come November. Maybe I'll get lucky and shoot a nice buck in there. I have no idea what's in here. So, but you know, the sign will tell me what's in here. Hopefully some nice big field edge. There's some ducks. They're landing in the marsh there. Interesting. My dad and I just got into duck hunting a couple of years ago. Anyways, it's promising. I like what I saw today. To be honest, I can't wait for next spring to just go and scout the shit out of it in there. Find that big boy. We're big boys. So, alright. 1.59 miles in about an hour and 13 minutes. And then I had about 20 minutes of stop time, which is basically just stopping and looking around. There's some nice buck sign in there, at least from last year, so who knows if the deer's still alive. I saw lots of tracks, but I didn't see any giant tracks. But overall it was a good walk, good scout. Probably would have been closer to 2.5, 3 miles if I would have walked all the way around that big island, but I didn't. I chose not to do that. I got kind of sidetracked and found some good trails and just kind of walked in and figured out where they led. So, alright.